Happy Friday, happy trading. Nothing that I'd rather be doing on a Friday than trading. So let's go to first find our most flow. Here's C. I'm going to say no. Here's CVX. That had no. That had some flow. Intel. No. CVX is best so far. Merck. No. CVX is our best so far. Unless you want to count the secondary move. Uber. I'm going to say yeah. Let's look at Uber versus Intel. Or it was CVX. Uber. I'm liking Uber so far. Walmart. Walmart had great flow, but it was secondary move. So I'm going to give the most flow to Walmart regardless, just because look at it. That's what we're looking for. Maybe not in the first bar, but basically what we moved on or learned today, you could look at the first bar as a tail bar, set the stop right here. Color change, get in here, add more, and then. So we're going to say that Walmart had more flow than split at 50%, sell, up. So with that being the case, Walmart is the better flow. Now let's go into our stocks. First stock we sold was Uber. And if we look into Uber, what we were able to do, we saw an elephant bar. We saw nothing to the left of this elephant bar. Here was the Fab 4. It wasn't in position 1. It was in position 2. We sold. Let it ride down. Let it ride down. Right here should have been an ad on a green bar ignore. And then right here we should have taken everything out. We held it and we waited until we got a green bar takeout of a red bar and got out. And then we got an even bigger green bar and we got out the rest of it. Don't like that. We should have counted that as a pullback, although it wasn't a healthy pullback. But as soon as we got out, what did we get? A color change of the red bar, and it went for lower lows. So had we just held our ground, we could have taken all of this with a lower low and an even greater amount of money than we originally had at the bottom of this low. So that was that was a couple of mistakes that we made there that can be improved. Going up, maybe we could count this as a tail bar, and that being a 3-finger spread. You buy into that right there. Let that go up. Now that you're into the 20, you ride that up. And we know we have resistance from this large elephant bar right here. So with that resistance pushing force over here, we saw this right here as a green bar takeout. We sold into this. And here's where we learned our biggest lesson. Not this exact trade, but we had a eureka moment trading today. Oliver talks about it all the time, where you set the stop and then you just take the loss regardless and let the trade play out. You can't just let it get freaky or let it get like P. Diddy. So, no baby oil. So what we did is we sold on the screen bar checkout, and then we freaked out on the stock as soon as it went out against us. We took a profitable trade, but that's P&L trading. What we should have done is we should have set the stop, have our exit point here, and then let it ride it. Color change, add to it. Reset the stop right here. Got to our point, get out. That way we didn't get freaky in between the trade and we didn't mess up the trade, because the trade could go anywhere. As long as it doesn't violate our maximum loss or our stop loss, not an actual stop loss, but our point of loss that we're willing to accept, then the trade is golden. It can go up. It's just going to eventually come down. And that was the greatest learning point we had today. And you'll see that in a lot more of our trades moving forward. So if we keep going, it's 11:30. We can really probably call it no trade time unless we get a great move. And by great move, I'm going to say like off of 200. So that's 130. Now we're at 230. Now that's a great move. Let's take that. Set the stop, elephant bar, clearing, nothing to the left. Set the stop. Large bars usually generate more large bars. We probably can get out here. That is what we're looking for. Get out. Now that can be seen as maybe a 3-bar, 3-finger spread. And we could play that up on the color change, play it up to here, maybe get out here. We still have this acting like a 20. So we know that it's overall going down. So let's say we get this right here. We get a bull 180. We know that's one of our larger moves. Our better indicating moves. Set the stop. Get out. That's the end of the day. We can't expect too much. Keep in mind, 30 is a time where it interacts or it moves. So our next stock is going to be Merck. Let's go to the beginning. We have nothing right here. Here's the Fab 4. Again, you don't want to usually play off the Fab 4, but if you're going to play off of it, you want to play off the edges. So the way we have it drawn up, here's an edge, here's a color change. You would sell here, and you would ride that down. And then you get an elephant bar. After an elephant bar, larger bars come, whale, get out. Now, what did we do? What we did is we didn't really think of the elephant bar at this point. And we just thought, hey, large bar, more larger bars. So we bought in here, start looking at another stock, and then we got this downward move. and we got out. Now, yes, that was a bad trade to get in initially, but let's say we still could have played it a lot better than we played it. If we would have just got in it when we got in it, and then as soon as it broke that bar, we actually sold, and we sold everything we had, then we'd stop and reverse, and then we still get to make the play to grab all of this move. So that would have been a better play. Now, the best play is here at the top of the Fab Four, but you could still make the play there, and that's why this game is not difficult, but I'd say there's just so many options where people can get caught up. Next, we're a little late in the move, so we do a color change here, and we're like, hey, this is going down. Let's do a color change. We do a color change, but we know we don't have much, so we get out quickly. So it's a positive trade. It's a P&L watch trade, but is that a trade worth taking is the question. No, that's not a trade worth taking. That's just a little trade. We're trying to get big trades because big trades mean we can take risk, more risk. And more risk means we can make more money. So our risks have to be smaller than our large wins for us to be overall profitable. Trading like this doesn't allow that to really happen. It's not an algorithm for that to work. So now we don't even have a 3-finger spread here. So we can combine these two bars right here, and we can say we have a bull 180. That's one of our stronger moves. Green bull 180 against the red bar. Set the stop below, and look at this. We get a whale, a 3-legged whale, in fact. And moves like that with low risk like this, that's going to keep us in the game. Those are the trades that we're looking to make. And with that, we'd have a color change here, so we could even have an even bigger move. We could have a color change here, even bigger move. Color change here, even bigger move. This is going up. Color change here. Because this is a flat 200. We know some of our best moves come off the flat 200. So those are the type of moves we're really looking forward to taking advantage of moving forward. Now that we're a little bit more accustomed to the principle of letting things hit your stop and just accepting the risk that's associated with the trade. Now that we're in this, keep in mind we're in a position of power. If you wanted to, you could say this bar right here is a topping tail bar, and you play it down to like a flat 200. What you could look at is that's such a large move, this right here, that if you can risk it, you set the stop right here. Doesn't matter what it does, doesn't matter what it does, you're still in the play, you're still in the play, you're still in the play, you're still in the play. I mean, you could get out because it's been so long, but let's just imagine you stayed in this play this whole time. You didn't let the price affect you. And now you have a move. Well, it kind of went a little too far. But you didn't let the price affect you. Then you have another sell bar right here. You get into there, move the stop right here, and then you sell more here, sell more here, and then you're at the position of power. And then you just let it ride. That's how you get big trades. That's how you make profits, large profits. Everything else is just going for small things. And you want to win big profits using small risks. That's the real name of the game. What we ended up doing here, instead of going through all of that and making that move, because it's like there's several things you could have done. I mean, you could have sold here, and then right here did your sell, and then the 200 it bounces, get out majority of your shares here, sell again here. It's going to bounce again. You get out here. Second bounce off the 200. We know it usually goes higher. At least it breaks that. It's just knowing all those things and combining everything, but with an overall mission of it going down, because that's what the play is. It just may not do it the way you want it to do it, but the play is the play. So that we just have to take advantage of the play. And that's, again, we talked about it earlier, but that's the biggest takeaway of this Friday. And I look forward to taking that into next week. Really see how we can take advantage of that moving forward. So here's what we did. We saw this elephant bar. We sold. We left our stop right here. Unfortunately, our stop got hit. That's not a bad trade. We had a stop. We had a move. Stop got hit. Or just got hit. We looked away, but had we not looked away, we have a re-entry right here on a color change or a bull 180, miniature bull 180. You get that on a downward position leading into a position of power. You take that all day. And let's see how far that takes you. Wow. Now this one right here, this is more of a end of the day. That bar right there is an exhaustion elephant bar. So after a long move, you get an elephant bar. At that point, you know that it's going to turn around. You could have played that. And then you got this. It's going to go even higher. And you got the flat 200. So that's Merck. Next one's CVX. CVX, you have a Fab 4, narrow state, one of the best positions that you could possibly be in. You have a clearing bar in a position 1. You would buy into that. You have a color change right here. You'd add your one lot here. You let it ride up, ride up, ride up, ride up, ride up. That's a large move, That's a large move to open the gates. And you could get out everything or you could leave a lot. Let's say you left a lot. Although you wouldn't, because this is a topping torpedo. But let's say you left a lot and you waited for your opportunity. Right here. Maybe you got in here. Set the stop here. Goes up. You get out right here. That's not a lot to risk for something with potential gain. And keep in mind, we measure this half, thirds. It goes to the third mark. We get a bull 180 at the third mark. That's a buy position, set to stop. What's it do? New highs. You get out new highs. It's as easy as that. What we ended up doing is we saw a 3-finger spread, and we thought that was a topping tail bar, or it was a bull 180 at our point. So we sold right into it right there, and we got out quick. So it was a profitable trade, but is it a point? It's a pointless trade. we didn't allow the amount that we risked really gain anything. And it didn't go back to what our risk was worth. Because here's what our risk is worth. We could have at least color changed here and maybe got out here. We could have color changed here and got out here. Those would have made we would have increased our size 2 times and we would have got more money. So that might have made that worth the risk. But as of the way we traded it, it wasn't worth the risk. So therefore, that's a bad trade. We get another opportunity with the topping tail bar right here. And then an elephant bar. Keep in mind the time, it's 11:30. You might not want to trade it. So let's see what happens. Nope, it's usually in chop at 11:30. Let's see if we get a great move. We'll take it if it's a great move, but really, no. So we took this move. This is around 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock's good time. So we got a color change here, set to stop here. We sell a lot. And we get out here. Now, ideally, I would have liked, knowing what we know now, this color change to be an add. And then us to aim for the 200 and get out at the 200. That would have made the trade a little bit more worthwhile for me, but it was a profitable trade. And I think we lever a lot of it. Looks like a lot of sell buttons, so we probably added a lot, but that's not how. Those aren't how you want to add to positions. You want to add to positions on color changes. You want to add to positions on opportunities where sell indicators, not indicators, but your moments of sales appear. So right here, we took another position. We took it off. I was late. I wanted to take this tail bar right here off at 200. Then we would have got the elephant bar. And then from there, take that and have a mini whale. But we got in late. We got on after the elephant bar. And we took this little position right here. But keep in mind, if it's break, we knew it was more than likely going down, so we wanted to get out quickly. Long story short. And that right there would have been a nice sell. What we did is we had a lot on and we sold right here. So that's why that lot's on there. But let's say we didn't. This is a nice sell opportunity with a stop right here. We play it down. And I'd say we probably get out here. Well, I mean, we could have got out here. Or anytime we could have got out with a drop like that. Because that's from here to here. That's a good enough. From here to here, that's a good enough drop to make profit. You know, that's one leg. We just didn't do it. And had we have just held on, sold here with this bull 180, set the stop here, let it play out and never hit our stop, added right here on the 200 color change, boom, added again here, boom, that's an amazing trade. Those are the trades that you're looking for. Those are the trades that make you a great trader. Next is going to be Walmart. So Walmart, this had the greatest flow if I'm not mistaken. You could have looked at this as tail bar, set to stop. All right. As soon as it went past, tail bar set to stop. It never went past the tail bar. Elephant bar add. You know that this is a previous day close, and we often get moves off the previous day close. You got the move off the previous day close. It breaks through a 200. Sell into that. Flat 200 like this. Boom, 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 break. Boom, 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 break. That's what you're looking for. That is the trade that you're looking for. That's the trade that you make that one trade and you're done. Go to La Playa. Go to the beach. Go to the mall. Go do something else. Those are the trades you're waiting for. You're not looking for a buy here and get out here. That's not going to make you money. That's just going to keep you glued to your seat and your desk. And that's not the beauty of this game. It's just not. Here's what our next move. Well, let's say this should have been a color change right here. It's a green bar, but this is going down. 2 green bars, but this is going down. You could sell this elephant bar set to stop. 20 MA halt right there. Look at that. Now you're in a position of power. I'd get out there just because of this bar right here. Sell, set the stop right here. Looks like it's curling over. Didn't quite hit it. Bam, look at that. Great trade. And that's like, I was wondering, this whole time I was wondering, how are people making moves that include this? And it's by holding the trade, holding your ground. Like 300 the movie. Leonidas himself. 300. Stand. We're willing to die. And you got to be willing to die for your trade. If you believed enough in it to make the trade, then believe in it enough to accept the loss if it loses. And that's a lesson in life. It's a lesson in trading. Next trade, C. So this is a flat 200. We can look at this as chop off of 200. You can buy that, get out here, I would say, just because you're in the previous day's close and it's still a flat 200. Goes back to the 200. You have a tail bar, do the same thing. Get out. Same thing. Keep in mind you can use this as a position of power. Green bar takeout, set to stop. Let it ride. You can get out there. And that would have been early. Now this right here is a sell, set to stop. Add. Add. Look at that. Great trade. Position of power. This is starting to curl. I don't like it. Is there an opportunity to buy somewhere in here? Nope, it keeps going down. And I'd say that might have presented an opportunity to buy, or that right here might have presented an opportunity to buy. And you ride that up. End of the day. Next one is going to be Intel, and that's our last trade for the day. So look at this. We can just say 1, 2, 3 finger. Color change right here. Set the stop. Add. That's just a cash register, man. That's just money printing, because that is how it's supposed to work. That's trading a system, not trading your feelings. What else do we have to go over? This one, it's a flat 200. We try to don't take the first one. We've learned that doesn't work. We take the second one, set the stop. 75%. Get out. Now it's riding up, riding up, riding up. It's curling near the 200. Best moves come off the 200. Does it get there? Doesn't seem to get there. So had we just kept position of power, set the stop here. And as you can see, if you look at it like that, I can be wrong, you can be wrong. The person the person that took this could be right, could be wrong, but it's how long are you willing to hold the trade to see it play out? And that's the more important, or the moral of the story with today's lesson. And that's a tremendous trade. See how far it goes? That would have had you sitting pretty all day. Now, we got in here, and we just thought it was going to change directions. It didn't. It got us out. We got in a large amount and then got out a large amount as soon as it hit our stop. But as soon as we got another bull 180, we got in and we got out a lot just to even out. We were still P&L trading, which we're working on. It's our next conquer. But I think today's a lesson that, had we not have gotten out and held on, we would have made even more money. So it's just proof that all this work is paying off. So that's the lesson for this Friday. Hope you learned a lot and hope you have a wonderful weekend. See you back at it on Monday.